Good afternoon to all, very spirited audience. Dr. P.K. Mishra, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Chief Secretary, Finance Secretary of Gujarat, former Revenue Secretary, Hasmukh Bhai Adya, and also B.V.R. Subramaniam from the Niti Aayog. Today we are here to unveil which has got just unveiled, the vision document, Viksit Gujarat 2047. It takes visionary leadership, both at the center and also in the state, to be able to come with a document which is going to speak about specifics of how Gujarat is going to lead the way in reaching 2047 and attaining the goal of a developed India, wherein Gujarat's role, as always, will be that of a pioneer, a powerful engine, and so on. I also thank the Niti Aayog for having given its dedicated team, which prepared along with the officials of Gujarat this document. Just a few things which I would like to cover in this context is that since 2014, I can speak with certain authority that the approach between states and center has been of cooperative federalism, competitive federalism, and also collaborative federalism. And that is how today you find that states competing with one another to see who's going to contribute how much towards building a developed India in 2047. But even as we say that, earlier we've had, not with an intent, I suppose, but the default setting has been a union to state kind of a relationship where it has been give for the union and take for the states. And that has been very comfortably accepted all the way. But from 2014, the fact that the Planning Commission had to be revamped, and Niti Aayog, which was more driven towards policy making and guidance, came in. It was a partnership with the states. Partnership so that states also aspire and their aspirations find in the scheme of things of the center, and also working together with the states for the strengths that they have, and to make sure that through programs like the aspirational districts, which are later now gone down a bit further to the level of the blocks, gone down in the sense of to the granular levels, to the blocks, looking at development as being a partnership where you leverage the strength of the state and look at strengthening those challenges, in the sense, get over the challenges and make them strengths for the states. Therefore, I call it a partnership between the center and states. So this participatory approach is what gives us the language for thinking about how India can be reaching that target through the Amrit Kal, the 25 years between now and 47, that we can reach to build a developed India, not just in terms of what will be reached, 30 trillion US dollars by 2047, but also with the 30 trillion inclusive, empowering growth for all citizens. So Viksit Bharat agenda is a comprehensive vision plan which is being developed by Government of India. I appreciate the effort of the state in getting this already on board. India today is at a turning point, is what the previous speaker has been saying. 21st century will be our century is one thing, but even by 2027-2028, it is believed that we surely will be able to reach the third largest economy goal, about which Honorable Prime Minister has been speaking with a good sense of confidence, and that is because people of India have met with the challenges post-COVID and built the recovery on a strong footing. And therefore, it is possible that we'll be the third largest by 27-28, but also that our GDP will cross $5 trillion by that time. By 2047, as I said earlier, it is a conservative estimate that we'll reach at least 30 trillion in terms of our economy. But one emphasis that I would like to place is Viksit Bharat is one of the Panch Pran about which Prime Minister had spoken about. And Panch Pran actually marks the soul of Vikasit Bharat. Panch Pran is the one with which we had targeted 2047 as the developed country goal. But together with it, the emphasis to remove the colonial mindset which has been in us and which is important for us to get over has been very clearly emphasized on. Enormous work has to be done. People, the states, stakeholders, central government, all of us will have to work to achieve that. I'd like to highlight only about 6 or 7 specific milestones, which I call milestones, but they are the foundational pillars on which Amritkal is going to put all the efforts together to take India into that Vikasit Bharat by 2047. Antyodaya is for that inclusive growth, in which, of course, you know about the free food scheme. I'm not expanding on it. But empowering aspect of it is the Swanidhi, which can be taken as a very important example. 57 lakh loans have been granted to street vendors so that the smallest of small person can build his entrepreneurship based on those sovereign guaranteed, in a way, collateral-free loan which they get. And very many schemes of the Prime Minister, one particular on which the UNICEF has come up with a statement saying this open defecation-free ODF families have actually saved 50,000 British pounds. This is UNICEF saying it. So they say 50,000 British pounds have been saved, or in other words, they've averted to that extent spending on healthcare. So in a way, it is a saving for poorer families. So this scheme of Swachh Bharat and the ODF has actually saved poor people from spending on their health-related matters. The next major, which I would highlight, is the direct benefit transfer, where 37,000 crores of rupees was transferred even during COVID, the lockdown period. 16 plus odd crores of people were covered by it. And therefore, even during a lockdown, if that could help us, the DBT, since after that you are seeing 33 lakh crores has been transferred under the DBT, resulting in savings of almost 2.73 lakh crores for the government. Because pilferages were cut down, you were able to use technology to make sure benefits reach those who deserve it, and government was not spending to unknown entities. The third, which I'll highlight, is a financial inclusion program, which India has never seen before like that. Yes, financial inclusion has been a long-drawn goal on which every year a certain number of incremental number of people would come in. But now I'd like to highlight the fact that almost 50 plus crore people have already been brought into formal banking system. Where were we in 2014-15? Only 15 crore people were with bank accounts. Now that has gone up to 50 crore. Equally, connecting to the rural India and farmers. Particularly, I'll take the example of agro-processing, where the value addition element comes for agrarian products. Only 2 mega food processing plants existed in this country in 2014. That's gone up to 24 in 2023, within a matter of 9 years. That brings in value addition to the products. The farmers get better price. The value addition brings jobs, and some of them get exported also, the products. The other highlight which I like to bring in as the pillar for Amritkal, on which Amritkal is going to build towards a Vikasit Bharat, is about the emphasis given on sunrise industries. India will now become at least in-house producer of semiconductor capacities. EV adoption is happening in a big way. And therefore, these are things which have emanated from the FDI policy of the country. What is about the FDI policy? Just look at the numbers. India had attracted between 2000, April 2000, and March 2023, 23 years, we had attracted $919 billion in FDI. But it is important for us to recognize that 65% of this $919 billion, that is about $595.25 billion, had all reached India in the last 8 years, 8 to 9 years. So in the 23 years, you're receiving 919 billion US dollars, of which 595 plus billion dollars have come only in the last 9 years, beginning 2014. So your FDI is coming in. It's like water. It flows to the lower ebb. Where policies bring in greater certainty, convenience, ease of doing business, FDI flows in. Of course, disruptions of higher US Fed rate and other things can divert it elsewhere. But despite that, we've been receiving that kind of a flow of the FDI. It's not as if it's coming only for manufacturing, it's coming also for service sector. Service, particularly exports, have also seen a surge from 151 billion that it was US dollars to 325 billion US dollars. So these are all strong foundations which have been laid in the last 9 years. There are one or two more I'll add to it. The third largest startup ecosystem, the PLI scheme, which now cover 14 critical sectors. The UPI, about which, of course, BVR Subramaniam had very clearly mentioned, 100 billion transactions in just the calendar year 2023, over 180 lakh crores being the total value which is being transacted. There's global recognition. G20 was very clearly awed of India's experience in this area. So with all this, technology and digitization have brought people together. 50 crore people have been brought into the banking system. Now look at where the unbanked have come into the banking area. 44% was where we were in 2014. Only 44% had accounts. Now, more than 80% people in this country have bank accounts. Look at Gujarat, therefore, in this context. And Gujarat, which has released its Vikasit Bharat vision document. It is a state which has 5% of our population, just 5%, contributes 8.5% to our GDP. 19% gross value added every year happens from Gujarat to the GVA of the total country. Total gross value addition to the country, 19% comes from Gujarat. The per capita income is 1.7 times the national average. So it is a state which actually is rapidly moving forward, and the state is growing at 12% CAGR between 2011 and 2021 in the 10 years, while the national average is 10.4%. So rightly, we are here in Gujarat talking about its vision for 2047, and certainly 2047, which is going to be developed country for India. And in that, the engine of growth, I see Gujarat being very clear in its vision. I welcome the document, and I'm sure the people of Gujarat, under the leadership of the Chief Minister, will be able to move in that direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.